Step into the unknown with the shadow frequency and your host, Matt Wilson, as he takes you where the shadows hum.
Hello, listeners, and welcome to another chilling episode of The Shadow Frequency. I'm Juniper, your producer, guiding you into the shadows once again. Tonight, Matt Wilson takes us to the haunted halls of the Stanley Hotel in Colorado, a place so steeped in mystery it inspired Stephen King's horror masterpiece, The Shining. From ghostly apparitions to unexplained phenomena, this episode will leave you questioning what lurks in room 217 and beyond. So dim the lights, grab your headphones, and let's tune into the frequency of the unknown. Here's Matt.
Hey everyone, Matt Wilson here, and welcome back to The Shadow Frequency. Tonight we're diving into one of the most infamous haunted locations in America, the Stanley Hotel. Nestled in Estes Park, Colorado, this grand hotel opened its doors in 1909, built by Freeland Oscar Stanley, a man of ambition and innovation. But what started as a luxurious retreat for the elite quickly became something far more sinister. The Stanleys' claim to fame, or infamy, came in 1974 when a certain horror author checked in. Stephen King and his wife Tabitha stayed in room 217 during the hotel's off-season. The place was nearly deserted, and King later said the eerie emptiness combined with a nightmare he had about his son being chased through the halls planted the seed for The Shining. In his novel, the Overlook Hotel became a character of its own, malevolent, alive, and brimming with restless spirits. But how much of that fiction was inspired by fact? Let's start with the hotel's history. Even before King's visit, guests and staff reported strange occurrences, doors slamming shut on their own, disembodied laughter echoing through the corridors, and shadowy figures spotted in the grand ballroom. Room 217, where King stayed, has its own dark tale. In 1911, a housekeeper named Elizabeth Wilson, unrelated to me, I swear, was nearly killed when a gas leak caused an explosion in that very room. She survived, but some say her spirit never left. Guests report seeing a woman in old-fashioned clothing, helpful, sure, but still creepy. Then there's room 401, where people claim to feel unseen hands tugging at their clothes, or hear children giggling when no kids are around. The fourth floor, once a staff quarters, is said to be the most active. Guests have captured photos of misty figures and orbs, and some even wake up to find their belongings rearranged. Is it the wind, overactive imaginations, or something more? The Stanley leans into its haunted reputation now, offering ghost tours and even a spirited package for brave guests, but it's not just a gimmick. Paranormal investigators have recorded EVPs, electronic voice phenomena, with voices saying things like, "Get out," or "I'm here." One team caught a piano playing faintly on a recorder, even though no one was near the keys. So what's fueling this energy? Some say it's the hotel's location, built on quartz and limestone, which paranormal enthusiasts believe can amplify spiritual activity. Others point to its long history of life, death, and everything in between. Whatever it is, the Stanley Hotel has a pull that's hard to shake. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, I'll dig into some first-hand accounts from guests, plus a wild story about a seance gone wrong. Stick around. You won't want to miss this.
Hey listeners, Juniper here. How's that Stanley Hotel vibe treating you so far? Matt's got us all wondering if we'd dare to check in to room 217 or if we'd be running for the hills at the first ghostly giggle. What do you think? Haunted hotspot or just a good story? Stick around because after the break, Matt's got some spine-tingling guest stories and a seance that'll make your hair stand on end. If you're loving The Shadow Frequency, please like and subscribe and follow us on YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook. And you can catch us on all the podcast directories like Spotify, Audible, Podbean, Podomatic, you name it. Want more? You can go to patreon.com/shadowfrequency. And if you'd like to advertise with us or suggest an episode, you can hit us up there. Or email shadowpodcast@protonmail.com.
It's time for the Shadow Frequency Mailbag.
All right, it's time for the mailbag. This one says, "Hey, Matt and Juniper, I'm Jake from Seattle, and I just gotta say I love all episodes of the Shadow Frequency. You guys cover the creepiest stuff, and I'm hooked. The way Matt tells these stories makes me feel like I'm right there, and Juniper's intros are the perfect vibe setter. Keep it up. I'm never skipping an episode." Oh, well, that's great to hear. This one says, "Hi, team. This is Lisa from Austin. I've been binging the Shadow Frequency for weeks, and I'm obsessed with all the paranormal topics. My favorite so far was the Rendlesham UFO incident. Those weird lights in the forest still freak me out. Matt, your voice is made for this, and Juniper, your production is top-notch. Can't wait for more." Well, I always tell Matt that he has a face made for radio. I have never thought about the voice part. And now let's get back to Matt and the Stanley Hotel, the inspiration for The Shining.
Welcome back to the Shadow Frequency, and yeah, Juniper, very funny. Before the break, we were exploring the Stanley Hotel's haunted legacy. Now let's get into some first-hand accounts that'll make you think twice about booking a stay. One guest, a woman named Sarah from Denver, checked into room 428 in 2018. She woke up in the middle of the night to see a man in a cowboy hat standing at the foot of her bed. He tipped his hat, smiled, and vanished. Turns out, staff call him the Cowboy, a regular apparition on the 4th floor. Sarah said she wasn't scared, just confused, until she found her boots moved to the other side of the room the next morning. Then there's the ballroom. In 2006, a group of friends snapped a photo during a late-night hangout. When they looked at it later, a little girl in a white dress was standing in the background, except no kids were with them that night. They showed it to the staff, who shrugged and said, "Oh, that's just Flora. She likes the parties." Flora is supposedly a child spirit tied to the hotel, and she's been spotted dancing or peeking out from behind curtains. But the wildest story? A seance held in the concert hall in 2012. A group of amateur investigators wanted to contact F.O. Stanley himself. They set up candles, a Ouija board, the whole deal. Halfway through, the board spelled out, "Leave now," and the candles all blew out at once. One woman screamed, claiming she felt something brush her neck. They packed up fast, but their audio recorder caught a low, gravelly voice saying, "Not welcome," after they'd left the room. The Stanley Hotel doesn't just inspire fiction. It's a living, breathing hub of the paranormal. Stephen King tapped into something real here, whether he knew it or not. Next time you're in Colorado, maybe take a ghost tour. Just don't blame me if Flora follows you home. That's all for tonight, folks. Stick around. Juniper's going to lead you out of here. Until next time, keep your ears open and your lights on. This is Matt Wilson signing off from the Shadow Frequency.
And that's a wrap on another haunting journey with the Shadow Frequency. I'm Juniper, your producer, and I hope Matt's trip through the Stanley Hotel gave you chills in all the right places. From ghostly cowboys to seance surprises, this place is paranormal goldmine. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back with more tales from the shadows. Until then, keep exploring the unknown and maybe avoid room 217. Good night, listeners.
Dive into the unknown with the Shadow Frequency, hosted by Matt Wilson. Fresh episodes drop daily, delivering short, captivating, and info-packed paranormal stories that keep you hooked and hungry for more. It's the perfect blend of eerie entertainment and mind-bending facts. Catch us on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Spotify, Amazon, Apple, iHeartRadio, and all major podcast directories. The Shadow Frequency, your daily haunt for the strange and unexplained.